Guys, last week was the one that got away. How would you describe this one?
No, more encouraging than last week. I mean, I thought we took the game up to a very good team and competed really well, and we just got another lesson in what absolute class acts do when under pressure, and we're under no illusions at half-time what was coming our way in the third quarter. We did everything we could to try and prepare our players and set up a system that was going to help us continue to attack and continue to win the footy. But you know, they're just an ultra impressive football club, and they've shown it time and time again, and they did again today, and you know, they thoroughly deserved their win. But I thought our guys, you know, did their very best, and at the end we were just beaten by a better side.
Did you ever expect to have to be worrying about whether tactics when playing in Etihad?
No, of course you don't. But I mean, it's funny. I mean, it is laughable. I mean, it's just. But I've asked the question before because we've had rain at Etihad before. This is what I just do not understand why we don't close the roof. But I mean, and I asked the question to the ground manager after the game, and he said, "Well, we looked at the forecast and the forecast said it wasn't going to rain." I said, "I'm not sure how long you've been living in Melbourne, but you know, just close it. Like, close it. You know, the fans come and expect. I don't think anyone bought their ponchos. You know, so, but it had negative impact on the game. I mean, I'm not for a second suggesting that it. But this is our home ground. I mean, I know it was Geelong's home game today, but you know, just there's a policy that when the sun's shining, the roof's open. But no one likes it. The fans don't like it. The broadcasters hate it. The players hate it. Close it. It's not that hard."
Chris just mentioned before that he said the same thing. He wants to close for all matches. Do you know? Have you ever spoke? Has it ever come up like coaches' conference meetings or anything like that?
No, because it's like anything. I mean, it just comes across as whinging, and it probably comes across as whinging now. That's why I want to make it very, very clear that it had zero impact on the game. But I just think for the spectacle and for the fans, we've got a great stadium here, and you know, it's embarrassing for the competition when it's raining at an indoor stadium.
Just to be clear on that, you say it had zero impact on the game. It obviously had an impact on the game. You mean zero impact on the result?
No, sorry. Of course it has an impact on, but it's the same for both teams. I mean, whether it's windy, whether it's wet, whether it's whatever. So it didn't influence the result. I wasn't frustrated because, you know, we lost. I'm just inquiring as to why they wouldn't close it when it's pouring rain.
And so the ground manager just literally said, "Oh, we checked the radar and it was fine."
Yeah.
That's the answer.
Yep. Yep. He won't get a job reading the news or becoming a meteorologist.
In the last quarter, do you think those two 50-metre penalties effectively cancelled each other out?
The Bartel one at the end?
Oh,
and the Wells one?
Earlier,
yeah. No, I think they have. The only thing I'm concerned about the 50-metre penalties is that's twice in a row we've kicked the ball away. We've had free kicks paid against us 2 weeks in a row. Both times Michael Ferrito, you know, one time he swears he didn't hear the whistle. You know, so I just think that he says it's not a lack of discipline, but you know, I didn't think it was our free kick.
Will you have a chat to him, or was that?
No, he knows. He's a very experienced player. That hasn't been mentioned until now, but yeah, I mean, to be in front the whole game and to give away a free kick like that and then make it an absolute certainty. I mean, Bartel would have kicked it. We all know that because that's what he does. But you know, we certainly took the pressure off him.
Brad, a young group like yours is going to learn something in the game. What do they have to learn from that tonight?
I think it's a great lesson. It's a tough one when you lose by that margin after playing, you know, pretty good footy most of the day. Is that the great players and the great teams stand up when they need to, and they just refuse to be beaten. You know, I don't think we should talk about Geelong's, you know, never say die attitude. I think we should talk about the fact that they don't lose and they don't tolerate it, and they stand up when they need to, and they've done it repeatedly. And the lesson for our guys is that it's not something you're born with. It's something that you learn through your experiences, and you know, we've got to continue to find players who can do that, and we're really confident in the group that we've got. And I think our performance today reaffirmed that confidence. But you know, when the heat's on, they've done it repeatedly, and we're yet to prove that we can do it on a consistent basis.
How did you rate Todd's influence in the taps and also around the ground, I guess, compared to Trent Weston?
Yeah, I thought he was, particularly in the first half, he was exceptional. So we know what he's capable of, Goldie, but it's just a matter of him imposing himself on games a little bit more and becoming, I think, a dominant ruckman in the competition. I think people would probably think he's got the capability to be that, but I don't think he's that yet. So he's showing some encouraging signs, but still work to do.
Just back on the positives, you were very critical of the ball use by foot last week. Happy to see an improvement in that area today.
Yeah. We worked really hard on that throughout the week, and not just our execution, but our decisions going forward. And I think that we really made Geelong defend, and they're the master. I don't think they had an intercept mark in the first quarter, which would be their first quarter that's happened to them for a long time. So, and Petrie was able to get one-on-one contests. So, we were able to give our key forwards in particular a bit more of a chance today, and so the decision making going forward and also the execution of that was much improved, but it's still not the best. We still got hurt too much going the other way, so we've still got work to do.
What changed after half time? Do you think it was mostly their intensity around the ball lifting?
Yeah, really simple. Centre clearances were 6-1 in the third quarter against us. And if you look at the contested possession count in the first 15 minutes, they just obliterated us. We couldn't get our hands on the ball, which we've been doing really well in the first half. So, the expected lift in intensity came from them, and we just couldn't match it quickly enough.
I guess you've got no better way to test out to learn lessons than next week with the reigning premiers.
Yep, the hits just keep on coming, and that's what we want. I mean, we're not shying away from our fixture. We want to play the good teams, and we want to keep testing ourselves. And it might sound a little trite, but we take great lessons out of sometimes bigger lessons out of losses than we do victories. So we'll continue to work on the things that are hurting us. But I've got great confidence in the group because they keep improving, they keep listening, and they're extremely coachable. So we'll get better next week again.
You mentioned last week you thought the footy world was slow to give due respect to Lindsay Thomas. How do you rate his form, though, and especially I think at the start of that last quarter, just having that nerveless shot at goal?
Yeah. I think I've said enough about Lindsay. He's starting to get a big head, so his performances are speaking for themselves at the moment. All good. Thanks, guys. Cheers.